Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at the Amazon exclusive Transformers Legacy Evolution Deadeye Duel 2-pack of Ascenticon Kaskade and Senate Guard Javelin. Now, apparently, this comes from the IDW comics, and the Ascenticons were Decepticons before they took that name. Now, one thing I want to point out on the box, uh, the name, the word duel is spelled properly for their intentions. But if you look at the instructions, they spell it as in the set of, like, meaning the word two. So obviously, there was not enough copy review on the packaging and the instructions. Now, uh, Kaskade is a repaint with a new head of the Siege Chromium mold, which it of itself was a retool repaint with a new head of the Power of the Primes Fembot Combiner mold. Now, I thought there was a little more new tooling to this. I thought the front end of the car looked different. It's actually not. It's all basically the same. I think all they did was also remove the clear plastic, possibly. Now, like we're dealing with like a mold that's now 4 or 5 years old, older if you go back to Power of the Primes. So unfortunately, I do not have it handy for comparison. Same thing here with Javelin, who is a repaint retool with a new head of the Studio Series Bumblebee the Movie RC. While that mold is a little newer, I really was not expecting to see it reused uh, in a main line, if at all. So I unfortunately don't have it handy, but I will do my best to point out the differences. One thing I can't now, one thing I can tell you just real quick with Cascade is that while it's a repaint with a new head, they did also go ahead and include um, at least one new part, and that being this elongated barrel here. That comes with the Target Buzzworthy Bumblebee exclusive red repaint of Cog that it was released under the Legacy line. Not Legacy Evolution, I don't think, but just straight up Legacy. And that came with a bunch of extra uh, modular weapon parts, stuff taken from the Chromium mode, the stuff that came with Cog initially, and a few new tooled pieces. So that is very nice. So you get a little bit more of a proper sniper rifle. Javelin here, the sniper rifle, I have to be honest, um, that looks to be all new tooling. So I'm not sure where it comes from, but it's very interesting. Um, but let's go ahead and just remove the weapons real quick. And we'll take a closer look at them in a few seconds here, just to give you a better look at the vehicles. Those grenades I'm just going to leave attached because they kind of complete the vehicle mode there. But starting off with Cascade, you can see the very nice teal, a very, very light teal, almost leaning towards the green, with that almost neon pink. And what's nice is you do have the darker purple lavender with the grenades, which, like I said, these are separate accessories, but I think they complete the vehicle mode, and they do add a little pop of color there. Um, and it is worth noting they do match the what would be the scope of the sniper rifle, which basically, just looking at this, is molded in that turquoise and then painted. That's a really nice looking figure there. And then coming in and looking at Javelin, and right off the bat, I can tell you that these side panels have been remolded because they have these extended wings, and I'm pretty sure this is a new front end to the cycle. But again, you have that like a more bluish purple in terms of the colors, uh, and then little spots of pink just to break it up. Then you have the darker purples there, bluish purples there as the accent. So very nice. Now I can tell you in terms of issues with the mold, uh, whatever issues you had before with these, I would say it's basically the same. I will say that at least on mine, I had a little bit harder of a time getting some stuff to peg in on Kaskade. You can notice right there, there's some tabs that aren't going all the way in. That could have been on the original figure. I don't remember, but it is a solid vehicle mode. It's not really that gappy. It's not falling apart. Um, Javelin is very good. It's a solid use of the RC, that Studio Series RC mold. But again, like on RC, the wheels don't peg together as fleshly as you would like. But other than that, everything else pegs in solidly, tightly. It's a very nice. Both of these are actually very nice uses of their respective molds and actually feel very new to the hand. Maybe it's because, especially with Kaskade here, maybe it's because it's been a while since I've held it, but it's just very nice to handle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pause. We're going to take a closer look at the accessories, and then we'll come back and take a look at the robot modes. All right, to start off, we'll take a look at Javelin Sniper Rifle. This is basically molded in that bluish purple and then painted over in this copper bronze color. It's three pieces, the sight and the barrel extension here. You can break those down, and you actually have a very nice uh, short assault rifle. But of course, the idea is a sniper, so put everything together, and and really, when doing this, you want to make sure that elongated piece goes down. It really doesn't. It won't peg in up facing up, so just like that, really nice. And like I said, this I really think this is all new tooling. I have not seen this yet. Maybe we'll see it in the main line going forward. Now, taking a look at Kaskade's rifle, if you're familiar with the Siege Chromia mold, most of this should be familiar. You can break it down here, move that, move that down, and you can actually, excuse me, you can have a short pistol, a slightly longer pistol with that barrel. You can have that this is a separate blaster, or if you want, you can pull that off, pull this off, put that on there. Have a short, you know, like a pistol rifle like that. Put these off to the side. You can also, with the grenades, connect them to form, the extra double barrel. Very modular. That was the gimmick of Siege. So I'm not going to go through all the possibilities, but it is nice that to see this here, and I do like that gunmetal gray coloring. Helps break up the monotony, and I like how that has the scope standing out a little. Very nice. Some fun stuff here. So we'll pause, and we will come back and take a look at the robot modes. Okay, and here are the robot modes, and I've also gone ahead and broken down the rifles to show the weapon storage. To start us off with Kaskade, um, if you're familiar with the Siege Chromia mold, this should be very familiar. Uh, the grenades peg into holes in the side here, and you can just peg the rifle there down the middle of the back. If you want to break it down further, you can. If to have her just use some of the basic weapons, you can have that storage. There's those 5 millimeter ports all over the body, all over the mold. So yeah, you do have your options, but you just go ahead and put the sniper rifle in its hand. There we go. And let's, take a look right here at the head. Love the inclusion of the scope there over the eye. Clearly, this was a robot built just to be a sniper. So I like that scoping and things of that nature. And what's no, I just noticed you have that secondary peg, so you why because you can't rotate the wrists. You can, of course. There is still a way to do some form of oop, oop, uh, I just hit these and these popped off. Sniper posing, which is kind of cool. So there is that. You know, that's nice. And really, what's even nicer is looking at Javelin here. First, let's take a look at that head. You have a completely visored head that I'm sure is full of sensors and targeting abilities and what have you. Very nice uh, addition to the mold. I want to say this might be a new chest, and that might be it for the robot mode in terms of the new parts. Obviously, nothing new on Kaskade, but the weapon storage. This is very nice. Now, obviously, that post was already there that the main part of the rifle pegs into. But what is also already there were those two tabs on the side that you can plug the extra bits into. The fact that these bits were molded with the slots in there for these tabs makes me kind of wonder, like, was this designed initially for um, oh, the head's popping up there uh, for this mold? And I'm curious that if this rifle gets used later on, will there be some additional retooling uh, to allow for other figures to store the bits and stuff? Very interesting indeed. So let's go ahead and put the rifle this way. And again, unfortunately, you don't have the um, wrist articulation in this mold to allow for uh, um, a proper sniper type of grip. And it's just, you can't even rotate the forearm, so it's a little tricky right there. Oh, oh, figure went down. Figure went down. Figure down. Figure down. But I mean, as you remember, that Siege Chromia mold was a little bit back heavy too, with that whole back section there. I mean, that is big and beefy. Although you know what? According to the pack, oh, wait a minute. No, that's right. I mean, and it pegs in. I mean, it is secure, so that is nice. But I don't remember it being that pronounced. But so yeah, there you go. I mean, you have your snipers. Well, wait, let's see if I can. Oh, you know what? I can use the wrist and angle this in. There we go. There's looking a little bit better there. Yeah, these are fine repaints, slight retools with new heads. Um, and it's a good set. Is it worth the purchase? Well, you can pause and come back with my final thoughts. I do have to be honest and share that I'm not familiar at all with the story behind these two figures. So I don't know if they end up killing each other, one kills the other, or what have you. But it is interesting after all these years and all of these specialists, headmasters, target masters. I mean, Was there like a technically a proper sniper in the Target Masters line, or were they all considered to be snipers? Anyway, it is nice to see that in the Decepticon or Ascenticon ranks, we get a sniper as well as in the Autobots, proper snipers. Now, I think this set averages around $50, $60 on Amazon. It was supposed to come out in October. Like everything else, the release date got pushed up way earlier than expected. So, um, it is available on Amazon now, I think, although there's always that chance of items it being temporarily out of stock while they fulfill orders and that it will be replenished. So that might give you some time to think about it and what you want to do. Uh, I really can only recommend this to comic fans because, like I said, the characters are really not known to the mass public, and it was really only one part of a story from IEW, which, if I'm not mistaken, never really got finished because IEW lost the license. Other than that, um, the molds are fine. The Siege Chromia mold, if you're newer to the hobby, this might be your first experience with it. This is the first repaint we've gotten to that Bumblebee movie RC mold. So there's that. I would say, if you don't know the characters and you're not really fans of the molds, while the accessories are nice, there are, especially in the terms of Kaskade, there are other ways to get those parts. And with Javelin, unless I'm missing something entirely, and that is not a new tooling for her sniper rifle, I'm sure we'll see it again down the line. So there's that. But I like the colors. The joints are tight. Everything works well. But again, being repaint retools, whatever issues were with the molds originally are still there, and whatever positives were in those molds originally are still there. So there's that. So ultimately, the buying decision is up to you. Do what you enjoy. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make an ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon, www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999, $1 a month, $12 a year. Uh, you know the spiel. And as I've been saying, adding now, do please share my videos around. It's a very hard time for smaller Transformer creators having to compete with the guys who are getting the lunchtime specials, early releases. So putting my videos into threads, sharing them around, asking them to be news by the various news mods of websites, really does help and gets more eyes on the channel. And that's always a good thing. You know, don't worry about it. The deal angering people. It's you can ask questions, you can promote things. It's not a criminal act. So that's about it. Once again for the review. This is your old pal Chuck for Kaskade and Javelin. We will see you next time.